It's the start of the month. Margaret, who is 71, opens her banking app just as she always does. She's expecting her Social Security deposit, the very deposit she has relied on for 9 years. But the figure on her screen isn't right. It isn't the full sum. It's half. Half of what she usually receives. Her stomach sinks. Did the bank slip up? Was her account broken into? Did the government stop her benefits? Then it comes back to her. A letter arrived a few weeks earlier. A letter she pushed aside because it seemed confusing and somewhat frightening. She never opened it. If you've ever felt that icy rush of panic when your money isn't where it belongs, this video is meant for you. Because what occurred with Margaret can happen to anyone collecting Social Security today, and there's a way to prevent it. I'm Edward. For many years, my work has been taking the puzzling rules that shape your retirement and breaking them down in plain English, the same way I'd explain them to my own parents. And today, I have to guide you through a genuine shift at the Social Security Administration. A shift that lets them hold back as much as half of your monthly benefit to recover something they label an overpayment. Now, take a deep breath. I'm going to show you precisely what this rule says, who it covers, and the exact steps that shield you. Above all, I'm going to reveal the legal rights you hold, rights that can halt this collection, reduce it, or even wipe out the debt completely. But please remain with me through the end, because there's one small, quiet error that thousands of seniors are making with these letters. It drains their money every single month, and it's entirely preventable once you understand what it is. Let me share Robert's story. Robert is 67. He retired, began his Social Security, and then did what millions of seniors do. He took on a bit of part-time work, a few shifts at the neighborhood hardware store. Nothing big, just enough to stay active and cover a few bills. Robert did nearly everything right. He paid his taxes. He never deceived anyone. He believed he was following the rules. But here's what Robert didn't completely grasp. When your circumstances shift, your income, your work, your living situation, the Social Security Administration must be informed. And sometimes, due to a reporting delay or even a slip on the agency's own side, they wind up paying you more than you were genuinely owed. They call that an overpayment. So one day, a letter shows up. It states Robert was overpaid. It states he owes money back, and it references a withholding rate. Robert skims it. The wording is thick. The figures are puzzling. He thinks, this has to be an error. I'll handle it later. And he sets it on the counter. Weeks pass. He forgets all about it, and then his next payment lands, slashed nearly in half. Here's the part I need you to absorb. Robert's true mistake wasn't the part-time job. His true mistake was doing nothing once that letter showed up, because by staying quiet, he let a clock run out. A clock that, had he acted in time, would have fully protected his money while the matter was sorted out. That clock is the core of this video. Let me show you precisely how it works. Let's begin with what the rule genuinely says, directly from the Social Security Administration's own website. The SSA states, and I'm quoting their page word for word, if you don't repay them within 30 days of the date on your notice, they will automatically hold back 50% of your benefit each month until the overpayment is settled. 50%, half your check. That's the current default rate. Now, I want to be completely honest and completely precise with you because you deserve the real facts, not fear. Here's the whole story. Back in 2024, the cap on this was merely 10%. Then, in early 2025, the agency announced it would climb all the way to 100%, taking your entire check. There was public uproar, so in late April 2025, they pulled that back. The default today is 50%, not 100, half. I'm sharing this so you don't panic if you hear an old rumor about losing your whole check. The current figure is 50% for most Social Security benefits. So what is an overpayment? It's simply when the SSA paid you more than you were owed. It typically happens because of a change they weren't aware of. your work, your income, where you live, or your marital status. But here's something important, and the SSA acknowledges this themselves. Many of these overpayments aren't your fault. Sometimes the agency makes the error. Their own inspector general found that improper payments are less than 1% of everything they pay out. So if you receive one of these letters, don't assume you did something wrong. Now, who does the 50% rate apply to? It applies to retirement benefits, survivor benefits, family benefits, and Social Security disability insurance for notices issued after late April 2025. If you collect Supplemental Security Income, or SSI, your rate stays at just 10%, regardless of when the notice arrived. But here's what the headlines won't tell you. That 50% is a default, not a final verdict. It's the starting point if you do nothing, and you hold powerful rights to change it. You have 3 official tools, and each one accomplishes something different. The first is a waiver. That's Form ssa.632. You use this if the overpayment wasn't your fault and you can't afford to repay it. If they approve it, you might not have to repay anything at all. The second is an appeal. That's Form ssa-561. You use this if you believe you weren't overpaid, or the amount they claim is simply incorrect. The third is a request to lower the rate. That's Form ssa-634. You use this if you agree you owe the money, but taking half your check would create genuine hardship. You can ask them to take a smaller amount each month. And now, the single most important thing I'll say in this entire video. According to the SSA's own page, if you request a waiver or an appeal within 30 days, they will not collect a single dollar until they reach a decision on your request. That's the protection Robert missed. That's the clock that ran out on him. 30 days. Had he simply submitted one form, his payments would have remained whole while everything was reviewed. One more thing you must understand, because far too many people get this wrong. This debt does not simply vanish if you ignore it. If you stop receiving benefits, the SSA can take your tax refund, hold back certain state payments, or even garnish your wages. And if a person passes away before repaying, the agency may pursue repayment from a survivor collecting on their record. This is serious, but it's also entirely manageable if you act in time. So let's keep this simple. If you ever receive one of these letters, here's exactly what to do. Step 1. Open the letter and read it the day it arrives. I know these letters appear intimidating, but the date on that letter starts your clock. The letter explains why they think you were overpaid and how much. You can't protect yourself from something you refuse to look at. Open it. Today. Step 2. Respond within 30 days using the correct form. Figure out which situation fits you. If you don't believe you owe it, file an appeal, Form SSA-561. If it wasn't your fault and you can't afford it, file a waiver, Form SSA-632. If you owe it but 50% is too much, request a lower rate, Form SSA-634. Filing within 30 days is what pauses the collection. This single step protects your money. Step 3. Confirm everything through official channels and keep copies. Never trust a phone call or a text claiming to be Social Security. Scammers exploit this very fear. Head directly to the official website ssa.gov or call the SSA yourself at 1-800-772-1213 and hold on to a copy of every letter you send and receive. Note down the date you mailed your form. That paper trail is your best friend if a dispute ever arises. 3 steps. Open it, respond within 30 days, and confirm through official channels. That's how you stay in control rather than letting the rule control you. Before you go, I want to leave you with something truly useful, and I want to be honest with you about staying safe. Rules like this one shift quietly. The withholding rate alone moved from 10% to 100%, back down to 50% in barely a year. So you really do need to stay informed. But please be careful about where you get your information. The most dependable, completely free sources for these updates are the official ones. ssa.gov for anything regarding your benefits, and trusted nonprofits like AARP, which fought openly to bring that 100% rate back down. Bookmark those. They will never charge you, and they will never request your social security number out of nowhere. And if this video helped you make sense of something that felt overwhelming, the best thing you can do is subscribe right here and switch on notifications so you catch the next breakdown when the next rule shifts. Even better, share this with one friend or family member who's on Social Security. The person most at risk is usually the one who never heard the warning. You worked your entire life for these benefits. You deserve to understand them, and you deserve to keep every dollar you're owed. I'm Edward. Take care of yourself, watch out for one another, and I'll see you in the next one.